All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Atlanta Silverbacks indoor facility here in Sewanee, Georgia, for a matchup between the Peach State Cats and the visiting Carolina Predators. This is Luke Ruff speaking for, I guess technically the Predators brought me in here, but this is going to be a great opportunity for both teams, not only just to shake the rust off. It's been almost 8 months since we called a game and about 12 since the Predators have played one, but also just a good while since anybody's gotten to go out onto the field, period. Sorry about the delay. We were told kickoff was going to be at 7. Both teams wanted a little bit more time to warm up, so they pushed it back to 7:30. Probably a good choice because the Predators had not gotten to go out onto the field to warm up. So if they'd started the game at 7, the Preds would have been coming in cold. Got some familiar faces for anybody who's tuned into a Preds broadcast before. We'll be getting to them as the night goes on. I'm sure we'll be calling out a lot of names for both sides. We called a game with the Palmetto Colts playing the Peach State Cats in this venue last year, maybe about 10 or 11 months ago, not quite sure when it was. The Cats won that game 46-38, came down to the last play when quarterback Mark Littlejohn for the Colts was unable to find a receiver in the end zone to potentially tie it up with a 2-point conversion and a touchdown. A lot of the players on that roster, though, are back here with the Predators, combined with a couple that have been with the Preds in the past. Kind of a who's who of the upstate South Carolina's indoor football circuit. The Colts not playing this year, saving up some cash to play in 24. The Preds the only team in town now, kind of combining the best of both of those rosters. On the other side, Peach State's roster has been overhauled in a sense. Got a lot of new faces, but for great reasons. Had a bunch of players moving up to the next level of play. Peach State's all about getting film out for these guys and sending it out to as many teams as they can, and they move up a lot of guys every year. When the Colts came here last year, there was a lot of players we hadn't seen before, and then we're coming in here this year. Once again, it's a lot of new faces, a lot of folks that are going to have a great opportunity to show off their skills tonight and put some really, really good stuff on film. Looking forward to a good one. Peach State has won the toss and will defer to the second half. The Predators are going to receive the opening kick. Captains for the Preds, quarterbacks Ricky McKinney and Mark Littlejohn, wide receiver Kevin McClurn, and defensive back Aaron Roundtree. Zeros on the clock. We are about ready to roll. Going to be interesting to see who handles kicking duties here for the Preds tonight. Do not see a kicker on the roster. Daniel Sheriffs has kicked for the team in the past. He is not here tonight. Shalif Daniels going to handle the kicking duties for the Cats. Got a few boxes we need to check before this one gets underway. First off, as always, the Peach State Cats, Carolina Predators, American Indoor Football Alliance, and the Elite Indoor Football Alliance do not claim ownership of any songs or audio you may hear during tonight's broadcast. No copyright infringement is intended for any of YouTube's bots that may be crawling through this broadcast right now. Again, nobody on the stream owns the rights to any of the music being played here. No copyright infringement is intended. We are not profiting off the use of any instrumentation or music used in this broadcast. And looks like we just got a couple more things to sort out. Sean Sanders over there on the sideline for the Predators has played and coached for them a bunch of different configurations, you could say. He's been on the field, off the field, and just about every combination. Even coached a couple of games on the field while he was playing himself, hyping the guys up over there right before we get ready for the kick. We also got a few unique rules for this venue. Not the biggest place in the world. Ceiling's a little low, so just in case we have a kickoff hit the ceiling or any of the nets you see in front of you, the ball is automatically going to be placed at the receiving team's 20-yard line, or if it went out before that, wherever the ball went out of bounds. And there's the opening whistle. Number 34, Shalif Daniels, ready to kick this off for Peach State. Trying to get some numbers down there. Looks like number 10, Malik Adams, and can't quite get that other one. I believe that's Edward Harrison back for the Preds. And this one is going to Harrison. Ball is loose, or live, I should say, and tackled past the 20. Looked like for a moment that ball might have come out, but he hung on to it. Out to roughly the 20-yard line or so. Again, as you can see, no on-field numbers here. Kind of got to play it by ear, but we do have a chain gang. You'll see them momentarily, and they probably will come into view of the camera every now and then. That's okay. Still a 10-yard chain just like normal. Clock is rolling here. First down and 10 for the Predators. Going to be interesting to see who exactly gets the start here at quarterback. And I believe it's going to be Ricky McKinney. And here we go, 1st and 10. McKinney in at quarterback. Malik Ball, the center. Starting receivers, Kevin McClure, Scott Boyd, or check that, Malik Adams, and the slot receiver has his jersey pulled up, can't quite make out the number. McKinney gonna hand this one off to Joshua Marcus. They call him Jamaica, he's going down the sidelines. He about ran to Jamaica on that one. Door flies open as a cat heads into the sidewalls. That's why they put those barriers up. Jamaica Marcus finding the edge on that opening handoff, taking it for about a gain of 10, enough to move the chains here for the Predators. And that is one of the main differences you'll see if you tune in any of the Colts games last year. Despite having a lot of the same players on both of these teams, the Colts more pass-oriented. The Preds like to run it a lot more. You're going to see a lot of direct handoffs. Well, maybe not right here. They got Marcus up in the wing. McKinney more than likely going to drop back to pass, but McKinney's a good runner too. Trips to the left side. McKinney back to pass. Under duress. Throws it. And that one is intercepted. Number 1 for the Cats. Tackled down around the Peach State 5. A turnover on the second play of the game. That one intercepted by Cedric Jefferson, who had an interception last week against the Atlanta Furious. Peach State won that game 47-6 just a week ago. Forced 5 total turnovers. 2 of them were pick sixes, and the Predators able to keep that one from going to the house. But a rough and tumble start there for Ricky McKinney. Had some pressure in his face, tried to get rid of that one, and throws it right to Jefferson. 1st down and 10 for the Cats. And we'll get our first look at Peach State's starting quarterback. This is Sherrod Murray, sending a man in motion. And just going to throw a little screen right here. Going to get about 5 yards. Big hit. Did the ball come out? No, I think that was a Peach State player's helmet. They got white helmets and a white football. Might get a little confusing at some points. Didn't catch a number on that one, but Murray's first pass of the night goes complete. Going to bring up 2nd down and about 4. Murray under center, looks like Gabe Pierce, one of their wide receivers in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Pierce, and sheds 1 tackle initially, can't make it past the big man. Number 92 for the Predators, Eli Rogers, I believe, with the tackle. We've only got Eli listed on the roster. We'll get that last name for you as soon as we can. But the nose coming up big there. Going to be 3rd down and 2 now for the Cats. Gain of 2 there for Pierce on the direct handoff. Murray under center, checking out the defense, got trips to his right, going to loop a man across the formation. Murray back to pass, deep drop, instead going short. It's going to be enough for the first and right into your living room. That was number 2, Mike Swan, with the 1st down grab for the Cats. And Peach State gets their first down of the game, and they got the referees mic'd up. You might have been able to hear them there. The Predators have called a timeout. Ball is right at midfield here. As you can see, the chain gang coming into view. Edward Harrison dropping off something with us for safekeeping. I tell you what, it looks like a wrestling belt that he just gave us. I think it's a flak jacket or a back pad, something of that nature. 12:39 on the clock. We're not moving here for the timeout. Not quite sure what's going on. Hearing a lot of yelling, but I don't think that's directed at anybody. Just both teams getting themselves hyped up. No arguments, at least hopefully no arguments this early in the game. Yeah, if they're fighting already, we're in for a long night, but I think everything's nice and civil out there. Murray going to go under center once again. Gabe Pierce in the backfield. Receiver in motion to Murray's left. Murray with a deep drop, looking deep. He's got a man. Caught! Touchdown, Cats! That is number 5, Ira Wiggins, on the post, right into the front corner of the end zone, and Peach State strikes first. That was a fantastic route and a great throw. Looked like he caught the Preds in a short zone look on that play. Just got behind the defense, and by the time Carolina realized he was streaking downfield, ball was in the air and it was too late. Great pass there from Murray. He goes 3 of 3 on Peach State's opening drive with a 2-yard run by Gabe Pierce earlier on. 4 plays, 45 yards, and 6 for the Cats. And now on for the extra point is number 34, Shalif Daniels for Peach State. Avery Adams to hold. You can just see the little uprights they've got. Got to clear the top of the soccer goal to get it across the or over the crossbar, I should say. And that is going to be our first penalty of the game. It's a false start against Peach State. Going to be interesting to see if that changes up their logic here. Remember, you cannot hit the roof, even on a PAT. If it hits the roof and then goes through the uprights, that does not count. You hit the roof, it's a dead ball. So got to keep this one low. Let's see what they've got planned. Daniel's going to be pretty close to midfield. And low snap, handled and squibbed. That one just not on the mark. And then recovered by Peach State in the end zone. That's good for a 2-point conversion. Whatever works. That ball was live. It bounced off the wall. Whistle never blew. And that one recovered by Demetrius Robinson. A heads-up play there to give the Peach State Cats 2 points instead of just 1. 8-0 now for the home crowd. 11-11 on the clock. That was just a heads-up play. Great awareness there. They tell you, you've got to play to the whistle. Did not hear a whistle on that one. Kick was low. It kind of bounced off the back wall of the end zone. They never called it dead. And Robinson just in the right place at the right time, dives on top of it. 2-point conversion. Harrison and Adams back to return this kick. Harrison got a pretty good return on it last time before the interception thrown by Ricky McKinney. Cedric Jefferson already has a pick tonight. We'll see if he can notch another one on the next drive. Daniels ready to kick this one off. (11:11) on the clock. We have got the ready for play. And here we go. Kick is another low one, a squib. It bounces over the head of one of the up men, brought in by Adams. He's going right up the middle. Got a blocker. He's loose. Oh, what a move! And down to about the 15-yard line of Peach State. Incredible return there by Malik Adams. First down and 10, or check that, could be first and goal, actually. He might have gotten further than the 15. We'll have to see exactly where the chain gang sets up. A fantastic return and an even better move there at the end of that one. Juked the man right out of his shoes, did Malik Adams, on his way to, hard to estimate, I'd say at least a 30-yard return. And now McKinney going to try and make up for that interception on the last drive. Brandon Bingham in at tight end. He is all alone on the right side of the formation. Jamaica Marcus in at running back. They're going to motion Adams and fake the handoff to Marcus. McKinney's got it, and he is going nowhere. Might have gotten a yard. He took quite a shot there at the end of that one. Brought down by a herd of Cats. Going to bring up 2nd down and 9. 2 runs, 1 pass so far for the Preds. Donnie Bird, owner of the Predators, going to be calling the plays tonight. Usually sticks to defense. Going to try his hand at offense today. And it is indeed a gain of 1 on the McKinney carry after the last play. Scott Brantley, Malik Adams, and Kevin McLaurin in at receiver. Brantley going to motion across the formation, and that on the clock right now. And that one is going to go against Peach State. And apologize for the technical difficulties there. Looks like we might have bumped the equipment or something. Lost you for a second, but now we are back. Yep, there we go. Apologize for that. Didn't miss much. 9:30 on the clock in the first quarter. Going to bring up 2nd down and about 4. I believe this is a goal-to-go situation. Haven't been able to verify it quite yet. It looks like the same play. Brantley motioning to some more connection issues. I remember the last time we were here, we had a couple of issues. That was with, it seemed low bandwidth. Here it seems like our stuff is disconnecting manually. We'll keep an eye on that. Apologize for any technical difficulties. Didn't catch a number on the intended receiver on that pass, but even if he had caught it, it would have come back. Holding called against the Predators. Going to push him back 10 yards. 2nd down and goal from about the 20 now. Let's see what they got drawn up here. McKinney still has yet to complete a pass. He threw a catchable one on the last play. Going to motion Brantley across the formation to the right. McKinney back to pass and looked to run a little early on that one and just has to throw it into the dirt. Great pressure there by the Cats defensive line. Looked like number 99 Curtis Williams and 51 Tony Howard both in on the pressure there. Going to bring up 3rd down and 14. Defensive line play, or good defensive line play I should say, has always been one of Peach State's biggest strengths, no matter who's been on their roster. Going back all the way to 2018, we played these guys. Or actually, it was 19 that the Predators played them. The Dragons, Upstate Dragons, played them in 2018. But even dating back to 2019, 2020, early years by our standards, it feels like it's been so long ago, their defensive line was still strong. And it continues to be a strong suit for him here. 3rd down and 14. Little draw to Marcus, trying to shed some tackles, and might have gotten past the line of scrimmage, but not much further. Going to bring up 4th down and 14 or so. And judging by the position of the sticks, I can't tell if the Preds can get a 1st down before cracking the end zone or not. It's really close. I just can't quite tell from this angle. A little cramped in here sometimes, so that just means you're that much closer to the action. Let's see what Coach Bird has dialed up on 4th and 13. Gotta imagine that Peach State's really gonna pin their ears back with a rush here. Indeed they do. 4-man rush. McKinney under duress, just gonna sling this to the end zone. Incomplete. If a ball comes off the wall, it's live. It is dead if it touches the net. That one was right in between, but it touched the net first. So even if that had been caught, would have come undone and been called incomplete. Peach State's linebacking core there with the pressure. I believe that was Jatavius Ponder with the pressure. Not 100% sure on that, but whoever it was got in super fast. It was a pretty simple design there by the defense, too. Just a straight rush, and then they brought the linebacker in. Marcus was assigned to him, but it looked like the Preds might have tried to run a little bit of play action. That occupied Marcus for just a moment too long. Wasn't quite able to catch that linebacker on his way through. McKinney did everything he could to avoid him, but by that point, his options were pretty limited. 1st down and 10 here for the Cats. Murray going to look to make this a 2-score game. Looking long, going long. Got a man behind the defense, and it's dropped. Ira Wiggins got behind him again. And the Preds caught a huge break on that one. You got to imagine they're going to back off a little bit after two deep bombs to Ira Wiggins in succession. Both should have been touchdowns. First one was caught. Second one just dropped. Might have lost it in the lights. They have got some really, really bright lights in here. Don't want to look up too long. You'll get blinded. 2nd down and 10 here for the Cats. And dropping back once again, Murray on the move, looking long, going across the middle of the field. That one is almost intercepted by, I believe that is number 22, indeed. Aaron Roundtree almost had the pick. 7 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. Roundtree was in the right place at the right time. Murray had some pressure, but ended up with a pretty clean pocket there towards the end after, or not quite a clean pocket, I should say, but did roll out, got some space, had some breathing room, and just did not choose the right place to go with that football. Roundtree did a good job of baiting him into that throw. 3rd down and 10. Murray has thrown 2 straight incompletions after starting the game 3 for 3. Jaquan Johnson in motion for Peach State. Murray looking over the middle, caught by number 19, and that's going to be enough for a Peach State first down. Trey Jackson with the grab. Caught him coming across the middle of the field. The Preds looked like they were in zone. Can't quite blame him after the way that Ira Wiggins has gotten behind the defense. Use those deep shots to kind of set up the underneath play sometimes. If everybody's backing off the line, afraid of Ira Wiggins going deep, go where they're not. Throw it underneath your slot man. Trey Jackson able to pick up a first down. Under 6 to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Cover 2-ish look here for the Preds. So now they're kind of going to a more man look. And going to be a quick screen out to Swan. And Swan breaks one tackle. Can't quite get past the second wave, but he almost pulled it off. Going to be enough for a first down. 1st and goal coming up for the Cats. And Carolina has called a timeout.
Hey, how you doing, man?
He's like, who is this? It's Coach Johnson, man.
Oh, and we got a visitor back here, blasting the pass, Tyrone Johnson. Yeah, offensive and defensive everyman for the Upstate Dragons back in the day.
That's right. How are you?
Doing good, man.
That's good to see you. Good, good.
Yeah, it's good.
I
I was
live
telling
right
him
up the street.
oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
I was telling him it's like having the old gang back.
A lot of the guys, they called me about, I got back from Myrtle Beach about 4 hours ago,
Oh,
and
yeah?
Donnie called me.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
See the guys, y'all be doing good?
Oh, yeah,
That's
been
awesome.
doing fine.
That's
Good to
awesome.
see you, man.
Same here, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Coach Tyrone Johnson, once again, the best dressed man in the house.
You better believe it.
That's right.
And it looks like the Preds have gotten their ducks in a row after that timeout. They've only got 1 left for the rest of the first half. Going to have to manage that clock and just their general play calling with a lot of efficiency coming up here. Murray going under center. Pierce in the backfield. We have not seen the Cats go in the shotgun. I saw them do it a little bit on film against the Furious and a bit in warm-ups. Seems like they're pretty comfortable going under center for now, though. They're going to pitch this out to Pierce and almost taken down at the point of attack. Sheds one tackle there by Abe Castillo, but cannot get past the second wave. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that was about it. The Preds all over that one defensively. 2nd down and goal coming up, 5:09 and counting on the clock. Jay Jackson, offensive lineman for the Peach State Cats, declares as the tight end. Got to be mindful of them down here. One offensive lineman can go out in a passing pattern in arena football, and they're not going to need that. Gabe Pierce takes it straight up the middle, bounces off a couple of his own linemen, otherwise goes in untouched for the Cats. They stretch this one out to a 2-score lead, 14-0 in favor of Peach State. Gabe Pierce getting his workload increased as they got down to the goal line, and it pays off. And Peach State once again lining up for a PAT. Last time this one didn't quite get blocked. It was just kind of a wonky kick, but it rolled right into the end zone where a Peach State player dove on top of it for what was functionally a 2-point conversion. This one much better, and between the uprights, that one is good. 15-0 in favor of the Cats. Shalif Daniels, 1 of 2 on PAT so far. For those just tuning in, we have just gotten past Peach State's second touchdown of the night. The Predators have turned it over twice, once on a Ricky McKinney interception on their first drive and then a turnover on downs following a holding penalty that gave them a 4th and goal from about the 20-yard line. It's not a good spot to be in for them. On the other side, Peach State has been firing on all cylinders. Quarterback Sherrod Murray hit wide receiver Ira Wiggins on a deep touchdown pass on their first drive. That gave them their first score, and just now they got down to the 1-yard line, and Gabe Pierce, who is listed as a wide receiver, they've had him in at running back mostly, punched in their second touchdown. And Daniels sends this one up, and it hits the ceiling. Didn't miss much there. By rule, anything that hits the ceiling, well, actually that one hit the ceiling before it got to Carolina's 20, so that one's going to be spotted at the spot where it hit, since that's more advantageous to the Predators. Or actually, no, never mind. This one is going to be called a touchback, going out to the Predators' 20. First down and 10 here for the Preds. Quarterback change. We figured we'd see both Mark Littlejohn and Ricky McKinney. Littlejohn has experience on this field after playing here with the Palmetto Colts in a game against the Peach State Cats last year. That game went down to the wire. Peach State won it 46-38. And nice throw there. I believe that is Scott Brantley out into the open, gets way more than a first down. And Littlejohn starts the game out with a very easy completion. Peach State just completely bailed out on defense, looking to stop the deep ball. The Preds go underneath, and they find a serious soft spot. Brantley takes it up the sideline for a huge gain. Going to make it first down and goal now. Carolina didn't fare so well last time they were down here. Peach State's defense really thick. To Malik Adams, right between two linebackers, and you've got to be kidding me. I think our connection went out right as Mark was throwing that ball. This venue was cursed. Yeah, it did. Apologize for that. I think something's up with this place. We just don't have good luck when we come down here with the equipment. There's some gremlins that get in it or something. We had a lot of camera issues last time around. They've been a bit more stable, but it seems like when they do freeze, they pick the absolute most inopportune times. We missed a great touchdown pass by Mark Littlejohn to Malik Adams there. And now Littlejohn got to run this one on the 2-point conversion, going nowhere, and hits his head hard on the turf. Looks like he's all right, but that one just not in the right place from the get-go. Looks like they were trying to run a quarterback sweep there, but instead of having the running back to lead, they sent the running back in the other direction. Littlejohn was kind of on his own. Interesting play design, maybe going for a bit of a misdirection aspect, but just couldn't quite get it going. But regardless, the Predators do get on the board. It is technically not a two-score game. I believe Uno rules apply in here, but with a ceiling as low as this, I'd be pretty surprised if anybody could manage to get an Uno. But that would make it all the more impressive if they did. 2:33 on the clock. The Predators have responded. Littlejohn goes 2 for 2 for about 30 yards and a touchdown on that drive. (15-6) the current score, and Ricky McKinney, we're going to kick this one off for the Preds. Always pretty interesting to see a quarterback in on special teams. McKinney, he can deliver some hits. Don't let his position on the roster fool you. He can play a little bit of everything. He's played fullback, he's played wide receiver, he's played DB before. He is not afraid of contact. And a straight foot kick here and goes into the wall. That one's going to go out to the Peach State 20. The Cats will take over from there. Murray more than likely going to be back in at quarterback. I imagine we'll see some of Damian Manning, their other quarterback, as well. Both saw playing time and both had 2 passing touchdowns in their win last week against the Atlanta Furious. Murray also had a rushing touchdown. Murray is going to be the passer here. 2:33 on the clock, first down and 10 from, actually they're going to move this up to around the 23. Looks like the same personnel on offense here for Peach State, and they're going to hand it to the hot hand, Gabe Pierce. Ooh, really got wrapped up there. Kind of not anything malicious, but kind of had a high-low tackle there. One guy fell over, Pierce got tripped up on, and then somebody came in and cleaned it up. Rough hit, good to see he's okay. Nice gain on that play, too. Going to be 2nd down and 4 coming up for Peach State. Murray sending Wiggins in motion. Got to watch out for the deep ball here. And Pierce going up the middle. You could see those DBs for the Predators bailing out as soon as the ball was snapped. Peach State has found something they like in sending Gabe Pierce right up the middle against this soft. Lost connection there for a moment. Apologize for that. And at least that was between plays this time. 75 seconds on the clock in the first. Murray looking for the end zone, checks it down over the middle. This one caught by number 19. That is Trey Jackson for the Peach State Cats. Sherrod Murray nabbed his 2nd passing touchdown of the game. Trey Jackson gets a touchdown on his 2nd reception of the game. Clock is under a minute to go here in the first. The score now 21-6 in favor of Peach State. That was the same play that Jackson got his last reception on as well. The Preds have been playing a lot of deep zone after some early shots to Ira Wiggins kind of loosened their defense up. Peach State has been more than content to dink and dunk underneath the coverage. And it is really paying dividends now. Shalif Daniels on to kick the extra point. Kick is up, almost blocked, and looks like the pressure was enough to cause a miss. Quan Bristol almost got a hold of that one. The clock will stop at 25.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. This will more than likely be the last play of the first. I don't think they'll stop the clock after the kickoff return unless there's some kind of penalty. The Predators have been doing awfully well on kickoff returns so far. They've had 2 for a combined 50 yards or so. Edward Harrison and Malik Adams have been their return men, and they will continue that trend here. Harrison and Adams back ready to catch this one. Daniels ready to send it away. Kick is up, much better this time. It's a line drive brought in by Adams, and he is heading up the sideline. He might have some room, spinning off some tackles and out past midfield. He won't go any further, but that was yet another thrilling kickoff return by Malik Adams, who is already having himself a game. 2 kickoff returns past midfield and a touchdown grab. Not a bad way to start. There's now with an opportunity to bite into that a little bit. First down and 10 for the Preds. Littlejohn back in at quarterback. Adams straight in motion to the left side. And Littlejohn going in the opposite direction, fires for Brantley. And not sure if that's enough for a first down. It's going to be awfully close. Same play they started the last drive on as well. Both defenses really playing some deep zone coverages here, leaving the underneath passing routes open, and that will bring an end to the first quarter. So some early turnovers for the Predators gave the Peach State Cats a 21-6 lead, but the Preds looked to have gotten into a bit of a rhythm on offense after switching quarterbacks. Mark Littlejohn, 3 of 3 for about 50 yards and a touchdown now. That is the end of the first quarter. It's a 2-score game, but the Predators knocking on the door. Just this. That cable's no good either. All right, and second quarter already underway. No commercials here. We're going to get you right back to the action. Jamaica Marcus in at running back. Kevin McClure going to motion just a straight line here. Peach State pressing initially, going for McClure over the middle. Almost made a fantastic one-handed catch. Couldn't reel it in and can't exactly blame him. There was some heavy traffic. Littlejohn would have had to have gotten that ball out pretty much immediately for that one to go complete. He was open for quite literally a split second, ran out of one zone and right into another one there. Good defensive scheming there by Peach State to close off those passing lanes. That is Littlejohn's first incompletion of the game. Again, Littlejohn with some experience at this venue, played here against Peach State last year with a different team. McLaren going in motion again. Littlejohn looking that way. Caught! Touchdown! Kevin McLaren on the corner routes with a nice over-the-shoulder grab there. And the Predators have hit double digits. They are 2 of 2 scoring when Littlejohn is in at quarterback. He is off to a fast start here tonight. Great route there by Kevin McLaren as well. 21-12, the new score. They can get this down to a one-score game with a 2-point conversion here. Technically, it still is a one-score game, but I think with the ceiling as low as it is, Unos are going to be just about impossible to come by. And here's what we were talking about earlier. Ricky McKinney has checked into the game as a receiver. Going to be interesting to see how they sort this out. Littlejohn and Marcus in the backfield. McLaren going into motion. Trips to the left. Littlejohn fakes the handoff to Marcus, going for Brandon Bingham on a 2-point conversion, and he's got it. Nobody saw him leak out. That is a play we've seen from Bingham a couple of times since we've known him. Started out with the Upstate Dragons all the way back in 2017. Caught a couple of 2-pointers with the Dragons in 18, caught one with the Colts last year, but in this very venue, on the exact 2-point conversion that he caught that pass on, our camera went out, we didn't catch it. We finally got one of Bingham's 2-point conversions on film.
I went back and looked, he declared.
Yeah, you'll see an offensive lineman on each team put his hand up in the air right before he gets set on every snap. That's the tight end. He is an eligible receiver. More often than not, he just stays in the pass block. There is a lot of risk with leaking a tight end out of the formation. You'll lose a potential blocker on every play, so you got to pick your poison, pick your points carefully. But the Predators absolutely nabbed the right time to pick that one up. McKinney with the kick. This one's a low squib, almost brought in by Pierce. It bounced off of him and then is brought in right around midfield, and oh, what a tackle! Mike Swan, I think everybody thought he had some daylight, but in the end, it is number 20, Chris Edwards for the Predators, coming in out of nowhere and knocking him down. What a defensive play there by Chris Edwards. 13-14 on the clock. Ball is out past midfield. You can just barely see the chain gang right to the left of the frame. Murray back in at quarterback. Mike Swan is the receiver closest to your screen. And now a lot of that defense shifting for the Preds. That's illegal. Yeah, they had a linebacker come out of the box. Free play and goes incomplete, but it is going to be a 5-yard gain off the penalty. Just had a little lapse in judgment there. Aaron Roundtree saw a receiver looping across the formation, thought he was in at DB. He motioned out of the box along with the defensive back that was covering the receiver. Hey, better to get those sorted out in the second quarter of the first game of the season than later on down the line when it really picks up in intensity. Little first game jitters for the Predators. 1st down and 5 now for the Cats following the illegal defense penalty. .12:55 and counting to go in the second quarter. Pierce in the backfield, right above Sherrod Murray. Swan in motion, and Murray just going to sweep. Oh, makes a man miss. He is on the move, going. Did he make it into the end zone? Still waiting on a signal, and yes, he did. Sherrod Murray has a rushing touchdown. He put the stop on Marquez Robbs there, number 99 for the Predators. It looked like Robbs had that one snuffed out, and Murray just made him miss. Excellent display of agility there by Sherrod Murray. His third touchdown of the game, 2 passing, 1 rushing, matching his total from last week. Score now 27-14 Peach State. And they're going to set up for the 2-point conversion here. Man in motion to the far side, Murray with a very deep drop looking all the way across the formation, and that one falls incomplete. It's going to remain a 13-point lead for the Cats. Had a man open, that was number 25, Tim Gary, on the crossing route that they have really come to like here so far in this game. They found something they can really nab that Predators defense with on that particular route, just unable to connect on that one. 11:49 to go in the second. Got a high-scoring game so far. Most of those points coming, well, yeah, a lot of them coming in the second. We've had 2 touchdowns, I believe, since the change, though I could be mistaken on that. Things always seem to move really fast in this building. I don't quite know what it is, but it feels like as soon as you sit down in your seat, the game's over. It goes by quick. Daniel's ready to kick this one off from the other side of the field this time. Still going in the same direction as they were in the last quarter. That might be what they're trying to sort out now, but he's kicking from the other side of the formation. Harrison and Adams back to return for the Preds. And it looks like they're going for an onside kick here. Ball's loose. And I think Peach State's got it. They do. Wow. What a play. Recovered by number 10 for the Cats. That's Carlo Dowdle, the linebacker who actually came over to us right before the game started. There was a late scratch on Peach State's, and Dowdle just came over to us and said, hey, I'm on the roster. You guys got to get me on there. And he is making his presence felt here with an onside kick recovery with the potential to blow this game wide open. Abe Castillo there for the Preds had a chance to grab it, but just couldn't reel it in. I don't think anybody was expecting that kick, so I can't really blame him, but it bounced right off his chest, and Murray dropping back to pass, looking long, and now checks it down on a crossing route, wouldn't you know, going towards the end zone. He got all the way down to the 1. I believe that's Mike Swan with the reception. I tell you, it's almost like there is somebody out next to the router that we have plugged into that pulls the plug consciously whenever there's a big play. I don't know how they do it. Every single time there's a big play, that camera goes out. We apologize for the inconvenience. It was like that last year too. We have got no idea, and it only seems to happen at this venue. Swan going into motion here on first down and goal. Flag is up, and would have been a touchdown. Pass is dropped. They call it a false start against Peach State anyway. 10:56 on the clock following the successful onside kick recovery there by Peach State. It was first down and goal from the 1. This is going to push them back a little bit. They had a great play called on that one. Just jumped offside and the pass was dropped. And that one is actually called on the wide receiver, Mike Swan. He was across the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. Going to be interesting to see where exactly they spot this here. In some leagues, a motion man false start is 5 yards. In other leagues, it's 10. And before they do spot this one, or it looks like it's actually down at the 5 right now, but before that, timeout called by the Predators. That is their last one of the half. They've burned through them all pretty quickly, trying to get their ducks in a row here on defense. That is still first down. Peach State has the ball at about the 5.5-yard line. And not a lot to talk about right now as Peach State comes back out. Looks like they're going to stick with the same box configuration they've been using. Gabe Pierce, again, listed as a wide receiver. I believe he played wide receiver with them last year. He has moved to running back, and he's had quite a game already. One rushing touchdown on a handful of handoffs. Mike Swan right there on the left corner of your screen. He's about to go in motion here. 10:56 to go in the second quarter. Peach State trying to make this a 3-score game. Swan with a little head start. And same play they ran on the last down, and this one is going to go for a touchdown. A little scrape off there by number 19, Trey Jackson. He's got his second touchdown of the game. Great play design on that one. Send everybody off to the far side of the formation. Nobody notices. Trey Jackson leaking out toward the sideline. The Cats tried that exact same play on their first and goal attempt. They got called back because of a false start. They try the same thing, and it works just as well. 33-14. Feels like just a moment ago, this was technically a one-score game. The Preds were only down 9. Now an onside kick recovery and just incredible efficiency by the Cats have blown this one wide open. Murray has a man, caught in the end zone. 35 points in the first half for Peach State. Sherrod Murray, heck, this whole Peach State offense having themselves a day. Ira Wiggins there with the reception. This has been something else. They scored 47 points in their first game last week against the Atlanta Furious. 35 already in this one. We still got 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Carolina has found some offensive success since about their third drive of the game. Ricky McKinney started the game at quarterback, had a couple of turnovers, an interception and a turnover on downs. They switched to Mark Littlejohn at quarterback. He guided them to 2 straight touchdown drives, but then an onside kick that was recovered by the Cats blew this one open, and that's how the Peach State has a 3-score lead. Daniels ready to send this one away. Got a low line drive kick brought in by Adams. Let's see what he can do. Heading for the sideline. Oh, makes one man miss and then goes into the wall. He's kicking himself for not making it further, but that was a heck of a return on its own. Nice athleticism there by Malik Adams. First down and 10 for the Predators. Ball spotted just short of midfield. Clock is stopped at 9:46. And let's see what the Preds have dialed up here. Littlejohn getting the play in from Coach Donnie Bird. Bird actually one of Littlejohn's teammates back in the day. Played with the Predators of all teams as recently as 2019. Bird was a fullback back in the day. Littlejohn, and something went wrong. Looks like this one's going against the Preds. Not sure if that was a designated hard count or if the receiver just didn't get the memo. But that one is going to push him back to 1st and 15. Littlejohn is pretty good at hard counts. I think that might have been what they were going for there, just because I didn't see any receivers go in motion. But it could have been that one of them was supposed to loop around, didn't get the call, and then when Littlejohn called for the snap, nobody else is ready. Looks like they've got it sorted out this time, though. Brantley going in motion. Brantley might be open there on the sideline. Instead, it's a handoff to Marcus, and he gets stood up at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Brantley had a step on his man, but the Preds were thinking ground on that one. Goes down as, looks like no gain on that one. 2nd down and 15 coming up now for Carolina. 9:24 and ticking here in the second quarter. Probably going to be below 9 minutes by the time this one snapped. Sticking with the same package they've been using, McLaurin, Brantley, and Adams. Adams going to get a straight drop here. And switch zone look by the Cats. Now they're going back to a more traditional one. Littlejohn, loses the football! Was direct. And it looks like our camera feed froze again, but it may have been after the play. I'm not quite sure. Really just need to start calling the game from the monitor instead of looking at the field. So, the Predators' hot streak on offense comes to an end. Just a rough turnover to stomach there. Ball slipped right out of Littlejohn's hand as he was trying to tell Kevin McClure to go deep. McClure had a step on his man, too. It would have been a tight window throw, a little bit of a hole shot between the corner and the safety. As the camera freezes yet again, thankfully, between plays. First down and goal for the Cats. Murray sending Trey Jackson in motion. It's a pitch to Pierce. Pierce has a blocker. Did he run out of room? No, he did not. He squeezes it in on the sideline. Touchdown, Peach State. Gabe Pierce has his second rushing touchdown of the game. 41-14. Peach State turning it on. And I tell you, he really wiggled through a tight spot in the coverage there. I did not think he was going to make it in. He had a blocker in front of him, but Carolina was closing that gap quickly. But he just got there faster. And going for two now. Murray calls Jackson into motion, same formation in motion as last time. It's a pitch to Pierce in the other direction. Oh, and he takes a shot, but he gets it into the end zone. Gabe Pierce having himself quite a night on the ground. 43-14. Peach State running away with it. Carolina has got to get something going on offense. Peach State has had the ball 6 times. They have scored 6 touchdowns. And we still have 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Don't tune out quite yet if you're a Preds fan. We have seen some crazy stuff over the years. I mean, it goes without saying, football is a 60-minute game. It is not over until that clock hits triple zeros in the fourth, and that is doubly true for arena football, especially once the 1-minute timing rules kick in at the last minute of each half. We got a long way to go before then. You gotta imagine that the Preds might be placed, but maybe not. Maybe it's going to be Harrison, and no, taken down, but that's going to be a horse collar tackle. Carolina has had quite a night returning kicks so far. That is yet another one out past midfield. And Harrison might have been able to go even further had he not got taken down from behind. 7:52, clock is stopped for the penalty. And it looks like, if I had to guess, we're going to have a first and goal situation here for the Preds. And indeed, it is first down and goal for the Predators. They are 1 of 2 in goal-to-go situations. They turned it over on downs the first time they got in this spot. And then looks like the Preds don't know the ball got moved up. Half the distance to the goal, and now they're getting set. Littlejohn threw a touchdown to Malik Adams the last time they were down here. Going to be interesting to see where exactly they go. The receiving core has looked good for Carolina so far. Littlejohn looking to pass under some duress, rolling to his right, and now going to take off, and he's taken down, actually looks like might have been a yard short of the line of scrimmage. Just kind of ran out of real estate on that one. Still going to be goal to go. Second down and goal coming up for the Preds. Ball at around the 7-yard line. Seven and a half minutes to go here in the second. That clock is rolling. I'm sure Carolina is loving that. Again, feels like their defense has been out on the field for the majority of this half. Got to get at least some time shaved off this clock just so they can catch their breath. But I'm sure on the other side, Peach State's offense is itching to get back out there. Brantley going to go in motion here. will not loop across the formation. This is going to be a handoff to Marcus. Lowers the shoulder. Ball's loose. I think he was down. Whistles blew as soon as that thing popped out. We got a flag down anyway. Looking for the end zone. Oh, almost intercepted. Needed a little bit more heat on that one. Had a smash concept there, a hitch and a corner route, trying to fit it into the slot receiver, Malik Adams. Good combination, had the right read, just couldn't quite fit that one in there. Little John's got the arm strength to do it. Just need a little more heat on that pass. And that is going to bring up 4th down and goal here for the Predators. 5:50 on the clock. Rolling, ball spotted around the 10-yard line, I'd say. Here we go. Little John going to move Marcus to the other side of the formation. Now going to call Adams into motion to his right. 2 receivers on that side of the field. Little John looking for the end zone, going for Adams. Oh, almost had it. Beat his man, but could not make a one-handed catch. And the Predators come up empty on that one. 5:22 on the clock. And you got to think that penalties are what killed him there. That was a catchable ball, but when it comes down to making your receiver pull off a circus catch to score, you got to play a little bit of woulda, shoulda, coulda. The Predators offense looking for answers right now. In the meantime, it's like the Peach State Cats offense wrote the answers to the test. They have scored on all 6 of their drives, 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns, 43 total points here in the first half. They are going wild against the Predators. 1st and 10 here, ball spotted on the Peach State 10. Man in motion is trying to grab a number on. In the meantime, Pierce gets yet another handoff after his touchdown carry on the last possession. Gets a couple of yards, but we have a flag down. And it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Predators. Again, apologize for the technical difficulties. We have your guess is as good as ours as to what's happening on that front. Murray calls a man in motion. Handoff to Pierce. No, Murray keeps it, and he is under some serious heat. And that one is going to go for a loss. Number 50 for the Predators. Twan Denoy with the tackle, a new face on the Carolina roster, making his presence felt. Now it's going to be 2nd and goal from way back. We'll be below 4 minutes in the second quarter by the time this one gets snapped. 2nd down and goal for Peach State. Gabe Pierce has been good so far, but you got to wonder if this is a little bit out of his range right now. They're about 15 yards away from the end zone. Can you pick that up on 3 handoffs, or do they want to air it out a little bit? And now Johnson going in motion. Gonna throw a fade. Oh, what a catch there by Swan! Out of the range of the camera. What a grab, just a jump ball there. And Swan puts the Cats over the half-century mark. 51-14 with 2:45 to go in the second quarter. What? All right, and Daniels ready to kick this one off for the Cats. Apologize once again for the technical difficulties. Daniels sending this one deep. Oh, and it hits the roof. Not missing anything on that one. And this one will come out to the 20. 1st down and 10 for the Predators, looking for something, any kind of spark here on offense. But also, you got to think, especially with Peach State receiving the kickoff for the second half coming up here in a few moments, you got to wonder if their priority here is going to be burning at least some of this clock. 2:45 to go in the second now. It's more than possible to burn 3 minutes on one possession. ball is spotted at the 20, and we got a quarterback change. Ricky McKinney back in the game now. Marcus in the backfield steps up in a wing position. You got the slot man in motion. McKinney back to pass, looking, going very long. Oh, almost intercepted. You might be able to call that one intentional grounding. I think receiver ran a curl when he was supposed to keep going deep. Malik Adams, I suppose the intended receiver there, but he just ran the wrong route. McKinney threw it over the heads of everybody. Nobody had a shot at catching that one. Clock is rolling. Will probably be right at 2 minutes by the time this one gets snapped. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Preds. Really milking that clock here. Brandon Bingham not in the game right now. And Adams going to motion across the formation. McKinney looking to throw. Got some time. Now throws this one. Oh, what a catch by Brantley. And that was one of the most dramatic gains of 5 yards I've ever seen. What a catch. Had to climb the ladder to grab it, but grab it he did. Adams in motion. McKinney dropping all the way out of frame. Going deep. Got nobody there. He was looking for Adams, but Adams was double covered. We got flags down around the defensive box. Going to be interesting to see where exactly this one ends up going. Peach State's defense trying to regroup. In the meantime, the flag is waved off. 4th down. Clock is stopped at 71 seconds. And remember, the Predators received the opening kickoff, so that means Peach State is going to get the ball to start the second half. They've been red hot on offense. I'm sure this Peach State defense is going to send the house here, going to do everything they can to get that ball back. The Preds have got to play this one smart. And, oh, speaking of smart, they're playing some 4D chess here. Mark Littlejohn is in at receiver right now. And got a mix-up here, and they got bailed out by the 1-minute warning there. A lot of confusion. Littlejohn and Brantley tried to go in motion on that one. This is not the IFL or CIF. You cannot have 2 men in motion. Just the one. So very lucky that the 1-minute warning came when it did. Otherwise, it would have been 4th and 8. Here's 4th and 3. Littlejohn still in the game in the slot now. He has played receiver in the past. He's got some wheels on him. Brantley going to go in motion. McKinney looking to the sideline. Oh, that one is caught. What a grab. Can't tell if that's Adams or McClurn. Believe it's Adams. Can't quite get a number from here, but McKinney fit that one into a microscopic window to pick up a 1st down. And it looks like that was Kevin McClurn with the 1st down reception there. 1st and 10 for the Preds. They can pick up a 1st without scoring. McKinney narrowly escapes the sack, but he won't get away from the linebackers. A double takedown there by the Cats. Marcus Scott and I believe one of the big men, 99 Curtis Williams, in on that tackle. McKinney got hammered. Lost about half. Marcus in the wing, McKinney at quarterback. Littlejohn in motion. Littlejohn, McKinney is looking that way. Littlejohn just could not make the diving catch. Clock is going to stop with 11 seconds to go. Peach State more than likely not going to be able to get this one back before the half, barring a turnover. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Predators. It looked from here like Littlejohn had a step on his man, but would have had to make a diving catch. Would have been an acrobatic move and just could not come up with it. But in his defense, I can't imagine folks practice diving catches all that much in practice these days, especially if your primary position on the roster is quarterback. Carolina just trying a little bit of everything here. They've had flashes, but just can't sustain it. McKinney takes the snap from the shotgun. Got some time to throw. Going for the corner. No. Incomplete. Clock stops at 7.6. 4th down and 10 coming up here for Carolina. So maybe I spoke too soon. Peach State might be able to get this ball back. So if you're Carolina, what exactly do you prioritize here? And there's no right answer. Do you want to try and have McKinney run around and burn 7 seconds off the clock so they can just get out of the half? Or do you want to try and pick up the first down while running the risk of potentially giving Peach State a couple seconds to work the clock? And that one is caught. Oh, Malik Adams with the score. Never mind the clock. What a grab. Malik Adams has his 2nd touchdown of the game. Just straight took it from a man. And the Preds finally get back on the board, cutting into that deficit. It is still 51-20, but that's better than 51-14. That'll give them some momentum going into the half, but Peach State will have 3.5 seconds to work with. They have scored in less time. In the meantime, and McKinney rolling to his left, thought about throwing, now reverses field, almost had a man, then it falls incomplete. Intended for Marcus, he had him, just kind of delivered that one with a weird arm angle. Ball went a little further outside than either of them expected. And the Predators will come up with only 6 on that drive. 51-20, the new score. Peach State has scored on every offensive possession in this game. We'll see if they can continue that streak with 3.5 seconds to go in the corner. We won't count it against them if they don't. But meanwhile, you've also got to think that if the Predators manage to stop Peach State from scoring in any format, if it's an incomplete pass, an interception, fumbled snap, even them just handing it off to Gabe Pierce to get out of the half, you got to think between that and the touchdown, they've got some momentum to carry into the half. And whistles before the kick. We're not quite out of the woods yet. Not a bad one at all by McKinney. Is it an offsides against Carolina? And looks like the officials have it sorted out. Not quite sure what the stoppage was for, but that's okay. See if McKinney can recreate that excellent kick he had. Here is the kick. This one is a low squib brought in at the end zone. There's the buzzer. And, oh, he's still alive. He's still going. Can Peach State return this? Wow! What? Wow! I don't even know what to say. You hear about teams leaving too much time on the clock. I would not have guessed that 3.5 seconds was too much time, but here we are. They just barely managed to get that one in, but they stretched the lead out to 57-20 right at the buzzer. What a return. That was something else. I thought the Predators had him dead to rights right around midfield. Looked like everybody did. Everything kind of slowed up right as he was coming across the midfield line, but he managed to stay on his feet and took it down the sideline for an incredible kickoff return touchdown. Peach State has scored on the ground. They have scored through the air, and now they have scored on special teams. Here's a 2-point conversion attempt. Quan Bristol checks in at linebacker for the Predators. Ira Wiggins going to go in motion here for Peach State. Sherrod Murray dropping back, looking for the big man, and it bounces off his chest, intended for number 96, Jay Jackson. He was open and in the end zone, but just couldn't hang on, though we do have a flag down. And they're going to replay this one. The penalty goes against Carolina. So Peach State going to have another chance to get this to a 59-20 game. A 37-point lead at the half, nothing to scoff at. Peach State says, we don't want the 37-point lead. We want 39. The Cats are smelling blood in the water. And again, we talked about that potential momentum for the Predators, the touchdown. What we thought could have been a defensive stand. They've got to get something going here. If they can get a stop here on this 2-point conversion from the 1-yard line, that's not anything to tip your hat or shake your head at. They're going for the fade. Oh, what a catch! There wasn't much the defense could do on that one. I believe that's number 1, Cedric Jefferson with the reception. Looked like he jumped 10 feet in the air to grab that one. Or check that, that's not Jefferson, that is number 3, Jaquan Johnson with the grab. Going airborne, and that is how we're gonna end the half. Looking like a basketball score in here, 59-20 in favor of Peach State. Carolina has some work to do, but I kid you not, I have seen a 40-point lead go up in smoke in arena football 3 years ago in 2020. It was the Predators of all teams that were up by 40, or they weren't up by 40, but they gave up 40. Not over. Don't even think that for a second. We've got a long way to go. 59-20, Peach State on top. Testing, testing. Yeah, we're good. I just muted it.
We'll try it and see.
Yep.
We need to get you another laptop. I can get one of these off of Amazon. Like where I got that one. These USB 3s. That might help. Pretty sure it was USB 2.
All right, folks, and yep, there we go. All right, we are back from the half. I tell you, I said this last year, and I'll say it again. Upper management for the Peach State Cats does not play around. Last time we had an 8-minute halftime break. This time we got 10, but it's still quick. It feels like it was 2 or 3 minutes. We'll see if that was enough time for both sides to get their wits about them. Peach State firing on all cylinders in that half. They scored on every single offensive possession they had, including a kickoff that occurred with 3.5 seconds to go in the half. Every single time they touched the ball, they scored. It was something to see. In the meantime, the Carolina Predators, they have struggled defensively, but on offense, they have had some flashes. It's just been a matter of getting those flashes to pop up consistently. They've changed quarterbacks a couple of times, switched up personnel. They've all worked, but just not consistently. So I am sure that a lot of the stuff they talked about in the locker room there in the half was about just finding what works and sticking with it. When something works, don't try and go away from it. That's how any football coach will tell you. Do it until the defense stops you. That's certainly the motto that Gabe Pierce used in that first half of the Peach State Cats. He had himself quite a day on the ground, or has been having himself quite a day, I should say. We've still got a whole other half of football to go. 2 rushing touchdowns for Pierce, as well as, I'd lobby to say, 40 or 50 yards rushing already. He has been a bulldozer for the Cats, and if I'm correct in assuming that he's the same number 4 from last year, he was playing receiver last season. They've put him inside, and so far tonight, he has thrived. And remember, Peach State is going to receive the opening kickoff. They won the toss and deferred at the start of the game. So quarterback for the Predators, Ricky McKinney, they're going to send this one away to Ira Wiggins, one of the fastest men on the field. We are just about ready to start the third quarter. We have switched up some of our equipment and the way it was hooked up, moved a couple of things around. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to run the down and distance until we get everything sorted out for sure. We may be able to bring that back later in the evening. We may not. It all depends. But right now, just getting our hardware to cooperate is our number 1 priority. Here's the kick by McKinney. And it is up and into the back of the end zone.
Good soccer goal.
Yep. Yeah, got it in the soccer goal, but not worth any points in this game. Not in this kind of football, at least. Ball's going to come out to the 20. So we'll see if Peach State can pick up where they left off, but they may have some difficulty with it, maybe just a little bit. We've got a quarterback change. Sherrod Murray is out. His evening may be done. There's no way of knowing until we hit triple zeros and see if he played again or not, but backup quarterback Damian Manning is in the game. He had 2 passing touchdowns last week against the Atlanta Furious. We'll see if he can notch another one on this drive. We got a new running back in the game as well. Can't quite get a number, but I think that's Tony Howard, number 51. And indeed it is Howard, and Manning's first pass hits the turf. Comes up low, intended for number 25, Tim Gray. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Cats. The clock actually did not start on that snap or the kickoff, so we are still at 15 minutes here. And now the clock is rolling. 14:55 now. Manning under center, Howard in the backfield. They're going to motion Trey Jackson across the formation. Manning back to pass, looking for Jackson, going long, and it hits the ceiling. Oh, incomplete. Jackson had a step on his man. It looked like it was going to be a jump ball. I think the pass was coming up a little bit short, but you could hear Jackson as he was coming across. He knows he might have just lost a touchdown to the roof. By rule, any pass that hits the roof is dead. You can't have a crazy play where somebody throws it off the roof and then they catch it and run 20 yards downfield. That doesn't count, unfortunately. It'd be a fun rule. 3rd down and 10 coming up for Peach State. Manning got to get into a little bit of a rhythm here. Started out 0 for 2. Jackson will be the man in motion. And Jackson going to motion to the left. 3 receivers on that side of the formation. Takes a shot from Quan Bristol as he's going over the middle. That's legal. And Manning has his first completion of the game. That's completed to Tim Gray. Not going to be enough for a first. Gain of 7 yards. Got his completion in. Where are they going to go now? Gabe Pierce not on the field. Got to wonder if running is still an option for him here, if they're going to try and air this one out. Fourth down and 10, or 4th and 3, excuse me. And Manning, has a man past the sticks, and did we got a face mask at the end of that one? It was awfully close, and they're not going to call it. Looks like we may have had a better view than the officials just with the angle we're at. I think the Carolina Predators might have gotten away with one right there. Regardless, though, it is still a first down for the Cats, and the Preds really weren't guarding the sticks. They were playing deep coverage on that one. Dude was wide open, uncontested, past the sticks. Manning now in the shotgun. Gray motioning across the formation. Manning looking to pass, airing it out, going for Gray. Caught, touchdown! Tim Gray on the post. A beautiful pass from QB2, Damian Manning has his first touchdown of the game, and Peach State stretches their lead to 65-20, on top by 45 points with 12:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. 2-point conversion attempt coming up here. Murray got a bigger frame Manning has a bigger frame than Sherrod Murray. Got to wonder if quarterback run's an option here. Sherrod Murray had an agile run of his own for a touchdown, about 20 yards out, took it down the sideline on a tightrope and managed to pull it off. Manning, high snap, brings it back in, pump fakes, looking over for the crossing route and cannot reel it in. Well defended there by the Predators. 2-point conversion is unsuccessful. Score is 65-20 in favor of Peach State. 11:40 on the clock and counting. Or nope, they've stopped it now. And the Cats will kick off. This will be Carolina's first possession of the half. Going to be interesting. I was about to say which quarterback comes out. That's not going to be the only interesting thing. They've shuffled around a lot of players on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the start here in the second half. Right now, they've got their same return men. That has been a bright spot for them. The kickoff return game, combined by Malik Adams and Edward Harrison. They've both been doing fantastic. No touchdowns, but they've both gotten across midfield a handful of times. Ricky McKinney, the quarterback on the blocking crew on this play. Daniels ready to kick this one off. It's a low line drive brought in by one of the up men. I believe that's Aaron Roundtree. Scratch that, it's not Roundtree. That is number 20. Oh, out the door! Chris Edwards goes for a ride on that one. And it looks like he's okay. He went right out the front door. It was locked. I guess it just wasn't locked well enough. He came into that with some authority. But once again, the Predators have gotten a kick past midfield. This kickoff return game has been something else. 11:31 to go here. Mark Littlejohn going to be the starting quarterback in this half. Kevin McClure, Malik Adams, and it looks like Brantley in at receiver. So pretty much the same squad of people they started the game with, just with Littlejohn at quarterback instead of McKinney. Here's 1st and 10. Littlejohn puts a man in motion, getting some words in from the officials. And Littlejohn throwing for the sideline, almost picked off by the Jack linebacker, but it goes incomplete. That was Demetrius Robinson. But the Peach State Cats almost had an interception. Arms were outstretched just a little bit too far to the outside for him or the intended receiver in Brantley. That one falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Going to be below 11 minutes in the third by the time this one gets snapped. Tay Twine is back deep for the Cats as the free safety. Haven't gotten to call his name a lot, but he is a big guy. Little John looking over the middle. That one is caught by Adams, and his fantastic night for the Predators continues, but we do have a flag. This one may be coming back. Peach State insistent that it's holding, and indeed it is. Called against the center, Malik Ball. So a big gain by Malik Adams. Gets wiped off the board by a holding penalty. That's going to push the Predators back 10 yards. And Ricky McKinney now checks into the game. Not sure if he's going in at receiver or quarterback. But these two, you never know. They can both play either position. First down and 20 for Carolina. And indeed, Ricky McKinney goes in at receiver. 10:30 on the clock. Brantley, the motion man, Littlejohn takes it straight up the middle and runs right into the pile. Gets maybe a yard. A gutsy play to go up the middle into some heavy traffic, but maybe not quite the result the Predators were looking for. Going to be 3rd down, actually. 3rd down and 19. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. We still got a long way to go in this one. The Predators need to get something going on offense. Littlejohn will be the quarterback. The play is in from Coach Bird. McKinney going in at receiver on the far side of the field. McLaurin and Brantley round out the receiving core. Littlejohn making sure his shoe's tied. Here we go. 3rd down and 19. Do they go for the home run, or do they try to get some of this to set up 4th and medium? Littlejohn. Oh, it's going to be 4th and even longer. Got sacked on that one. Didn't have much of a chance. All those receivers were going deep. You got to have time for those to develop, and he did not have time. The Peach State defensive line comes up with another big sack. I believe that was Curtis Williams. It was either him or number 0, Jatavius Ponder. This entire defensive line has had quite a night for the Cats. 4th down and forever. If I had to guess, I'd say it's about 25, but that is just an estimation at this point. You got to be thinking they're in arm punt territory now. Going to be interesting to see what happens. Brantley going to go in motion. Littlejohn takes the snap. Under some heat. Makes a man miss. Going long. Intercepted. And how far can he get? Going out to midfield. That is Demetrius Robinson with the pick. Or check that. That's 23, actually. Cameron Kendall with his 2nd interception of the season. But coachable moment there. It's 4th down inside the red zone. You got to drop that ball. Knock it down. Take the yards. I know it's exciting to try and go for a long interception return like that, but by catching that ball, the arm punt works, and Peach State lost about 20 yards on that one play. Got to knock that ball down if you're one of the Peach State defenders there. 8:32 to go in the third quarter. Gabe Pierce back in the game at running back. Manning still in at QB. The Preds playing loose here. Got all their DBs a little ways off the line of scrimmage. Swan in motion. Trips to the left. It's a pitch to the right. Pierce heading up the sideline. Takes a big shot on the wall. Everybody's okay. I think that one looked a lot worse than it was, but a hard hit nonetheless. It's a gain of 6 for Gabe Pierce. And his fantastic night on the ground continues. Peach State out past midfield. Under 8 minutes to play in the third. Can the Cats stretch this lead even further? Pearson in the backfield once again. Ira Wiggins in the game. Got to watch for the choice route. And instead, it's a handoff to Pearson. He goes nowhere. The Predators ready for that one. Eli Rogers with the tackle. He was all over Pierce on that one. 7.5 minutes to go in the third. And now the Cats bringing in a player listed as utility on the roster. This is number 21, Avery Adams. Plays a little bit of everything. They brought him in at running back here. And looks like they're going to have him up in the wing as a pass protector. 3rd and 3, Manning in the shotgun. Entire playbook is open here. Manning looking to the sideline, got Swan for a first down. He's trying to make some men miss and gets another yard or two out of that play, down to about the 3. Timeout called, not sure by who. And Carolina has called that timeout. Their first one of the half. Goal to go when we start back up. 65-20 in favor of the Cats. It's a 45-point lead with 6:55 to go here in the third quarter. Peach State has a chance to get it to 71 with the touchdown here. Jay Jackson going to declare as the tight end here. Ira Wiggins going to be the man in motion. Not sure if he's going to loop across or just run it straight. Or check that. It's going to be Swan in motion. And looking in that direction, ball is batted up and incomplete. I believe that was Malik Adams in at DB now. Indeed, that was Adams with a little bit of a PBU there. 2nd down and goal for the Cats now. Everybody getting their ducks in a row. Looks like the clock actually didn't run on that last play. It is at 6:48 and counting right now. Adams in the backfield in the wing. Swan, the motion man, trips to the right side of the formation. High snap brought in by Manning. Manning looking, caught for a touchdown. Jaquan Johnson on a play that Peach State scored on earlier. Everybody goes inside except Johnson, except the slot receiver, whoever that may be. He leaks to the outside, scrapes all the other defenders off, and gets into the end zone before anybody can even touch him. Was not contacted at all on that play, and it's a touchdown for Peach State. 71-20 now. Here comes the 2-point conversion. And the Cats getting some last-minute offensive adjustments in. Breaking the huddle now. Swan, Johnson, and Wiggins, the receivers. Adams in the wing. And now going under center is Manning. Motioning Johnson, going for the fade. Swan's got another one! He's been flying like a swan these past couple of drives. What a catch! Mike Swan. Hard to believe a plays like that is only worth 2 points. He put in more than 2 points worth of effort on that one. High pointed the ball with fantastic precision. It is a 53-point lead for the Cats. 5:27 to go in the third. 73-20, your score. I want to take a moment to thank all the folks that are watching here. I know this is kickoff week for the National Arena League. IFL action starting to heat up. I believe they're in their second week. We got a lot of games going on right now, and we've got a pretty good crowd here, both in person and online. So I just want to thank all you guys for tuning into our stream when there are a lot of other games going on. It means a lot to us, and hopefully we'll be able to get you out of here just before those other games start to heat up, because they've got commercials. We don't, so that means we usually get done about an hour sooner than the big league games. Oh, and that one hits Quan Bristol, brought in by McKinney. And McKinney, I thought he had the edge there for a second. He kind of went backwards a little bit, trying to get the edge. Couldn't quite reel it in, but man, that hit Bristol right in the chest. I don't think he had time to react. It was in his face mask before he even knew the ball was off. That was quite a kick. And we'll see what the personnel grouping here is for the Preds. Seems like they've tried just about every combination they can come up with. Some have worked better than others. They've been running with two quarterbacks on the field for the past couple possessions now, one at receiver and one at the traditional quarterback position. Littlejohn is the one that's got the play from Coach Burt, so I'm assuming he's going to be receiving the snap here. McKinney not on the field after that return, going to take a breather. So we are back to the traditional set of McLaurin, Adams, and Brantley, along with Jamaica Marcus in the backfield. And Adams might have beaten his man, and there is Adams making some men miss. And right at the sticks. Is it going to be enough for first down? I think they're going to call this 2nd and 1. Malik Adams having quite a night. Despite the scoreboard, I know it looks bleak right now, but Adams has had a great individual effort, offensively and defensively. And that effort continues. They're going to call that a first down now. He got taken down right at the sticks, and they say he extended the ball just enough to move the chains. 4:45 to go in the third. Adams in the slot. Adams motioning across the formation once again. Two receivers to the Littlejohn's right. Littlejohn looking to the left, now finds Adams. Adams going down to the 2. Believe that's going to be yet another first down. 1st and goal now for the Predators. Malik Adams putting this team on his back. Bingham declares as a tight end. Got to watch out for him as well. He's gotten a 2-point conversion here. And quick snap. Marcus takes the handoff, got into the end zone, but we're the Preds set. We've got flags. And the referee sorting this one out. Carolina taking it back, and they needed that touchdown. Oh, and the penalties declined, so it was against Peach State. They were backing up so they can get ready for the 2-point conversion. So scratch that. The touchdown is good. Carolina back on the board. Might be a little too late for a comeback, but something to hang their hat on there. 26 points on the board now for the Preds. Going to try and make it 28 with a successful 2-point conversion here. You can always rest assured, whenever Brandon Bingham is on a team, their 2-point conversion tries are going to be very creative. Seems like wherever he goes, creativity follows. Littlejohn going to send McLaurin in motion. And whoa, fumbled snap, ball is still loose. It's still loose. Wow, Littlejohn, I don't know what he was doing there. This thing is still going. It's eventually brought in by Peach State. What, are you kidding me? No way! What a play! That's number 6. Ah, it wasn't rolling. Man, you're kidding. That was an awesome play. That was unbelievable. A ball was loose for what felt like ages there. It was a fumbled snap from the get-go. Littlejohn and Marcus both tried to bring it in. Neither could do it. Then Littlejohn finally got a hold of it and tried to kind of underhand it to one of his receivers. It goes incomplete. They called it just a fumble, I guess. I think that's what Coach Burt is arguing about now. He wants a fumble called on that one, since the ball was moving forward, but he wants an incomplete pass, excuse me. And then just after that, chaos. Number 6 for the Cats, Darius Graham, is the one that ends up with the score. Forced a fumble on his own man to keep the play going. Demetrius Robinson, the linebacker, was returning it down the sideline, was about to get tackled, and Graham came over, ripped it out of Robinson's hands, and ran it into the end zone himself. 75-26, though the scoreboard here reads 75-20, so we'll have to double check on that. The Predators scored. That was a 2-point conversion attempt, I thought, and yeah, there they go. That's happened one other time where we thought it was against the Georgia Lions a couple of years ago. We thought a team had scored and then they messed up on a 2-point conversion, but then it ended up that what we thought was a 2-point conversion was actually 4th down and goal, and was a possession change. It was a whole mess to sort out, but glad they got that one straightened out. 75-26 the score, 3:24 to go in the third quarter. The Preds getting ready to kick this one off. Ricky McKinney, the starting quarterback for the Preds, going to send this one deep. He's been hit or miss on kickoffs tonight. He's a straight foot kicker, so that's to be expected. Going to have some highs and some lows, but when he has nailed them, they've gone flying. And in the meantime, got a little bit of a holdup because Coach Bird of the Preds is still arguing with the refs, trying to get an explanation as to what happened on that two-point conversion. The official call is that Littlejohn fumbled the ball forward. He lost possession of it, and then the ball just happened to roll forward. And so it really could have been called either way. If we had instant replay, it'd be one of those situations where whatever they called it on the field would just be call stands. I don't think even with replay there'd be enough evidence to overturn it either way. The Preds just got the short end of the stick on that one. About 18 minutes overall to go in this one. McKinney ready to kick this one off. And it's a low line drive kick brought in by Wiggins all the way back at the goal line. And Wiggins getting loose. Wiggins brought down. It's going to be goal to go for the Cats. A big return there for Ira Wiggins. He's had quite a night on seemingly everything but special teams. Finally manages to break one loose. Manning going to stay in at quarterback. Pierce still on the field at running back. We've seen them switching it up a little bit. I know Avery Adams played a little bit of running back in the game against the Furious. They've also subbed in one of their defensive linemen, Tony Howard. They want a big man in there at a fullback sort of position. They'll bring him in. Kind of a three-headed monster, I guess you could say, at RB right now. 2:35 to go in the game. Manning double checking with his OC. And here we go. Jay Jackson declares as the tight end. Swan going in motion. And might have gotten a little bit of a head start on that one. Manning running for his life, going for the end zone, and that one falls incomplete. The Preds want a pick, and I think they're going to say it hit the net. I couldn't quite see. There's a lot of fans here, and it's just out of my field of vision. DC for the Preds, Sean Sanders wants an interception as well, but I think they say a ball off the net here is dead, but a ball off the wall is live, and the ball hits the net first and then the wall. Dead ball, no interception. Peach State lives to fight another down, and the night of frustration for the Predators continues. It's a good call by the official. They've called a really good game tonight. They've caught all the big penalties. They've let them play some too, but the Preds just can't get out of their own way. They've had some inefficiency combined with bad luck. Never a good combo. In the meantime, Manning looking to throw, going for the corner of the end zone. That one almost intercepted as well. Incomplete. Number 24, that's Desmond Scott, almost had the pick intended for I believe that's Cameron Kendall, the defensive back in at receiver now, but that may be Johnson, or check that, it's actually Trey Jackson, number 19, the intended receiver on that one. He and Scott both had a chance at that one. Neither of them came up with it. Third down and goal here for the Cats. 50 seconds and rolling here in the third quarter. Peach State letting this one roll. Still a goal to go situation here. Jay Jackson declares as a tight end. Peach State has tried him once on a two-point conversion. He was open but couldn't reel in the pass. Johnson going to motion across the formation. Manning looking that way. Johnson got a step and the ball is overthrown. Incomplete. Peach State wants a PI call. They're not going to get it. It looked clean to me, but I don't have the best view of that corner of the end zone, so I can't quite say. Number 20, that was Chris Edwards with a pass defense there. Or actually, we've got a flag down. I didn't notice it, but Aaron Roundtree gets called for an illegal blitz. He went outside the defensive end. You can't do that indoors. You got to stay in the A-gaps if you're going to blitz from the linebacker spot. Roundtree did not, and so Peach State catches a break. They've still got the down and distance marked at 4, but that should be an automatic first down for the Cats. Again, just another rough break for the Predators. You can tell that Peach State has a game of experience under their belts, and the Preds still trying to get those first game jitters sorted out. But the good news is that once you get those sorted out, their next game, you can bet they're going to look a lot more polished once they've got everything sorted out. And down in distance, they actually still have this at 4th and goal. If it's an illegal defense penalty, it should be first down. And indeed, they are changing it to first down. Manning in the backfield. And now they've brought in Tony Howard as the fullback in the wing spot. Manning, oh, that one's caught! It's a low pass for a touchdown. Believe that's Johnson with the reception. He's got his jersey bundled up. I can't quite see. Or check that. That is Mike Swan, number 2, with yet another touchdown grab. I thought that one hit the turf. No, Swan made a diving catch. And the Cats go up 81-26. Now lining up for the 2-point conversion. We've officially begun the 4th quarter. 14 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Jackson declares as the tight end. Howard still in at fullback. He is not in the wing. Eligible to receive a handoff. Watch for him here. In the meantime, Johnson goes in motion. Whoa! So Howard does get the handoff and he runs it. Wait, ball's loose! And I think Peach State recovered it in the end zone. We got flags. Man, I don't know what happened, but Manning just got manhandled off the snap there. The defensive line by Carolina was having none of it. Holding called against the offense. And they're going to accept that penalty because it was called a successful 2-point conversion despite the chaos. So they're going to try this again from the 7-yard line. 13 and a half minutes to go. All right, and the Cats getting some last-minute adjustments in on offense, trying to figure out where exactly they need to be. A little bit of confusion here. Looks like they've got it all sorted out. Here we go. 12:50 and counting. Manning taking the snap. Just going to throw a fade here. Oh, man, miscommunication on the defense. Intended for Tim Gray, and he can't bring it in. Might have gotten spooked by the wall there. That thing comes up on you fast. I'll give him that. Could not hang on, but there was a serious miscommunication there. Didn't quite catch the DB number there for the Preds, but I think he thought he had safety help over the top. He did not. And once Gray got past him, there was nobody left except the wall. 12:39 to go, 81-26 your new score. Peach State having a heck of a night. Their streak of efficiency continues. They have scored every single time they have had the ball. 0 turnovers, 0 field goals, 0 turnovers on downs, none of it. Every single possession for them has ended in a touchdown. And the clock is rolling here, 12:15 to go. Daniels ready to send this one away. Oh, it's a line drive brought in by Adams. Had to take a moment to make sure he had it. And makes one man miss, trying to find a crease. Gets to midfield and will go no further. The Preds will take over from there. Feels like it's been quite a while since we've seen the Preds offense. That was a long drive by the Cats last time out. Took a lot of time off the clock and a lot of time off the clock in real time. Again, going to be interesting to see exactly which personnel grouping they go with here. Got to imagine that after the last possession ended in a touchdown for the Preds, they won't change too much. And here we go, Mark Littlejohn in at quarterback. 11 minutes to go in this one. Adams going to go in motion to the left, to the right side of the formation. Littlejohn looking to the left, and that one falls incomplete. 10:55 to go. Pass breakup force there by number 8 of the Cats. That's Marcus Scott with the defensive play. And Littlejohn pointing something out to Coach Bird over there, maybe seeing something he likes in the defense. Let's see where exactly they go here. Again, I know the scoreboard looks bleak for the Preds because it is. It's been a rough game for them, but the problems I've seen so far have been fixable. It's not like some teams I've seen in the past where they get out there and they are just manhandled from start to finish. I mean, it's a matter of just personnel sometimes, but here, I mean, the Preds have the roster to be able to compete with anybody. They've just got to get some practice in. Oh, and there you see it. There's the offensive potential. Another touchdown, this time brought in by, I believe that's Scott Brantley. Got to double check the number. And it was either Brantley or, nope, Edward Harrison has different shoes. And yes, that was Brantley. Preds' number's a little difficult to read sometimes, but that was him. So a nice throw there by Littlejohn, kind of easing the pain of what will go down as a loss. But again, there have been building blocks here. This is not a hopeless defeat. They've had potential, they've had issues, but there are fixable issues. They've got a chance to be competitive this year. Again, they just got to get some practice time in. And that one falls incomplete on the two-point conversion attempt. Again, to my knowledge, the Predators have only had maybe 3 or 4 practices all season. This is a group of guys that does know each other pretty well. They play football a lot in the off season for a handful of different outdoor teams. But again, you come together, you put on a new uniform, you work for a new team, you come to a venue that some of these guys have never been to before. You can't expect it all to run flawlessly on the first try. You got to get that practice time in. Got to bring everybody in on the weekends when sometimes they just want to take a day off. You got to put that work in. You got to do everything you can to get better. We certainly saw that with Peach State. They're a 47-6 win is obviously nothing to scoff at, but you can tell looking at the scoreboard now, they saw there was room for improvement, specifically on offense. They had 5 offensive touchdowns last week. 2 of them were defensive touchdowns. I've lost count of how many offensive touchdowns they've had now. McKinney's kickoff hits the roof. Clock's going to stop at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. 81-32 the score. Peach State going to take over from their own 20, and Sherrod Murray is back in the game at quarterback. Interesting choice here. Going to see if they're going to get both of them some equal reps. Figured when Manning came out and started the second half, they'd each get a half, but maybe Manning got banged up or Murray just really wanted to go back in. Could be any combination of those. 8:50 and counting on the clock. The defense struggling to get set here. Murray under some serious heat, and he gets sacked. That was Quan Bristol with the pressure and the takedown there of Sherrod Murray. He didn't even have a chance to run away. He was beat off the snap. 8:30 to go now. Second down, and the good news for Peach State is that even though it was a sack, it wasn't a particularly long one, only a loss of about 3. Second down and 13-ish, we'll call it. Murray's got the play in. Everybody's huddled up. Probably going to be below 8 minutes before this one gets snapped. And Pierce has moved out to receiver. Again, I'm not sure if it's the same number 4 as last year, but remember when the Colts played Peach State in this building last year, there was a receiver number 4. Not sure if that was Pierce, but Pierce not able to catch up with that one. Really, nobody could. Looking deep. Looks like the camera froze, but I don't think he missed anything. It was a deep pass into double coverage and just kind of over the heads of everybody. That one falls incomplete. Third down and 13 for Peach State. 7.5 minutes to go here in the fourth, and dare I say it, Peach State's streak might be in jeopardy. They have scored a touchdown on every offensive possession. The Predators would love nothing more than to bring that streak to an end. Murray in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion, looking that way. Got a short completion. Oh, and he breaks the tackle. Got a blocker. Cutting upfield. And I believe that is Tim Gray with the catch and the first down. A long run afterward brought down past midfield. Going to be first down and 10 from about the 13-yard line, I'd say. Nice catch and run there by Gray. He has had an excellent night. Really seems like all the Peach State receivers had. Heck, receivers from both sides. Kevin McLaren had a touchdown pass for the Preds. Malik Adams has had quite a game offensively and defensively. Had some really good individual performances tonight. 6.5 minutes to go. Handoff to number 21. That's Avery Adams, and he gets pummeled in the backfield. Going to be a loss of 1. Eli Rogers and I believe Aaron Roundtree, the other Predator, in on that tackle. 2nd down and 11 coming up for Peach State. We'll probably be below 6 minutes to go in the 4th by the time this one gets snapped. And seems like Peach State's been a little bit more, I don't know, conscious, deliberate, whatever the right word may be. They've taken a little longer coming out of the huddle here in the last couple of minutes. I've seen this in a couple of other situations where teams get up big. They'll try out new plays, test them out, stuff they haven't really run in practice, and it takes them a little longer to get out of the huddle. Murray, in the meantime, has all day to throw and sends it off the net. Falls incomplete. Again, ball off the net is dead. Ball off the wall is fine, but if it hits the net first and then the wall, it does not count. But Murray, man, he had all day. He could have written a book back there. 3rd down and 11 coming up for Peach State. 5:20 to go. Ricky McKinney checking in at defensive line. This ought to be interesting. I've seen this one other time, a quarterback checking in as a D lineman. It was Josh Ross for the Preds in 2020. He got pancaked. Though Ross and McKinney, very different skill set, and actually McKinney checks in at linebacker. He's got some experience here, not necessarily at DL. And McKinney dropping back into coverage. Murray under duress, but it clears up. Rolling, caught, touchdown! Peach State has another one. Tim Gray. How many times have we called his name? 87-32 now. It is looking more and more like a basketball score every time somebody hits the end zone. 4.5 minutes to go in this one. Clock rolls after touchdowns indoors. Tim Gray having himself a night that he won't forget anytime soon. 2-point conversion try pending. And again, here's what I was talking about. Taking just a little bit longer to get out of the huddle and maybe testing out some new plays that they haven't really gotten to run yet, at least not in a game. Might have tested them out in practice once or twice. New formations, new passing concepts, anything of that nature. Adams in the wing. Murray looking to throw. We got a flag. Murray just going to take off. Oh, my! And the Preds have not lost their edge. They are still fighting. Ricky McKinney, the starting quarterback, with one heck of a tackle. He was not going to let Sherrod Murray get by him. That was the biggest hit I've seen all night. And it came by a quarterback on another quarterback. Only in arena football, my friends. 3:55. The flag is waved off, so the score is going to remain 87-32. Preds going to get at least one more crack at it. They scored on their last 2 drives. Again, if you're just tuning in, the scoreboard looks bad because it is, but Carolina has had some good moments. There are building blocks here. You've just got to put it together. It's not going to happen tonight, or maybe this week, later down, or maybe next week, and the next couple of weeks. Could turn into a scary team if they're able to get together and iron out some of these kinks. We'll be at about 3:20 by the time this one gets kicked. And Daniels sends this one long. Oh, it goes right through the legs of Adams. That's a live ball. He's got to get this out of the end zone. And he hands it off to Harrison. And the Preds are going to have their worst starting field position of the night, but lucky just to get that one out of the end zone. Yeah, it's called a rouge. It's a very rare rule, but I see it about once a season. If a kicking team has a ball go past them like that, they recover it in the end zone, and then they're tackled in the end zone, it's 1 point for the kicking team. It's very rare, but it does happen. I've seen some officials get really confused by it because it happens so uncommonly. But again, very heads-up play there by Adams to kind of hand it off and turn himself into a blocker for Harrison to be able to get out of the end zone. It's not pretty, but it does the job. Heads-up play. Little John getting the play in now. Looks like we got a new face, or check that. Yep, we got a new receiver in the game, Mark Boyd. We'll see what he can do. Adams and McClure round out the receiving corps. Daquan Kendricks declares as a tight end. And Littlejohn sends a man in motion, looking deep, instead checks it down to McClure, flag thrown. Mark Boyd was the motion man. Littlejohn went through his progressions just like you're supposed to, finds McClure for a gain of 5. But we've also got a personal foul going against Peach State, so that's going to move the Preds up. 2 minutes to go here in this one. Carolina looking to end this one on a high note. McClure right at the front of the screen. Malik Adams going in motion in the slot. Beats his man off the line, but there's coverage in the back. Littlejohn goes down, got flags again. It came out as Littlejohn was getting hits, and whatever it is, it's going against Peach State. Not entirely sure what the call was. It looked clean from here, but the refs obviously had a lot better view of that one than we did. And no announcement either. They're grabbing the flag, just put it back in their pocket for the next play now. Littlejohn and Boyd both getting the play from Bird. Clock is stopped at 58.4 seconds. This could be the last possession of the game. No guarantees. Peach State scored on a kickoff return with 3.5 seconds left to go in the first half, so no time is too little time. They're going to call that a first down off the penalty for the Predators. Clock is rolling. We'll be below 50 by the time this one snapped. Adams in motion. Peach State playing zone, backing off and caught underneath by McClure. And this is what he does best. He's like a running back. Once he gets the ball, he can shed tackles. He wasn't getting out of that last one, but you saw just the brute force that he has. He is a tough man to bring down if he can get the ball in the open field. Clock stops at 38.5 seconds while the chains move. This one is going to be right at a goal-to-go situation. I don't know that they're going to call it that. We'll have to wait and see. Boyd still in at receiver. Clock is rolling now. Will be below 30 by the time this one gets snapped. Quan Bristol in at running back. It was actually a position he played in college. And they're going to use him as a pass protector here. Littlejohn going for the end zone. Oh, and looked like he threw a corner route and Adams ran a bench. Just cut that one a little too harsh. He was open. It would have been a tight window, but it was possible. And again, that's the kind of stuff that'll get ironed out with practice and experience. It's tough to see that if you're a Carolina fan not work out, but it's the first game of the season. They've got plenty of room to improve and plenty of time to improve. Not to mention, I forgot to talk about this, but this is technically an exhibition game. It's a non-conference matchup. The Predators are in the American Indoor Football Alliance. Peach State Cats in Elite Indoor Football, so this is not going to count toward either one of their playoff records. Just kind of a non-conference game, if you will. Oh, and Boyd is wide open. Miscommunication there by the Peach State defense. Great recognition by Littlejohn and Boyd, and the Predators, at least offensively, are going to go out on a high note. 87-38. And I'll say this, I mean, offensively, it's been hit or miss. They've looked good, especially in the late going here. Now, you have to factor in, maybe playing some backups against Peach State. I can't verify that. Peach State may have their starters in, I'm not sure. But the offense has caught fire here. They looked good, and we have called games where teams have won with 30 points. It's not common, but you can win if you score 40 and your defense plays well. Defense, definitely the main thing they need to work on. Oh, and maybe the mesh points need some working on too there. Tried to run a little read option there between Littlejohn and Bristol, and it just was not happening. I don't even know that offensive line broke down. The mesh point wasn't good. Just maybe want to throw that play away until you get it nailed down and practice a little bit more. Not working out on that one. 11.5 seconds to go in the game. 87-38, the current score. I would say it's more than likely where it's going to stay, but Peach State has, again, they have scored in 3.5 seconds at one point. I would not be surprised if this is not the final score. You just never know. Heck, the Preds may go for an onside kick. They ain't got anything to lose. May as well practice it while you got the pads on. And Peach State making a couple of substitutions. I don't think they had the personnel package they wanted out for that kickoff return. Looks like they got it now, though. 4 up men, and they got a new return man. This is number 15. Nope, that's not Damian Manning. That's 19, excuse me, Trey Jackson, the receiver. Here's the kick. McKinney, no onside here, sending it deep. Oh, and it hits the net. It's going to be spotted at the Peach State 20. Well, folks, we're about at the end of this one. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Peach State fans, you've got all the reason in the world to celebrate a great win for the Cats here. It's it's mathematically impossible now. You can't score enough touchdowns to come back in this one in 11 seconds. Try as you might. That doesn't mean the Preds can't end this on a high note. There's still time in this one. You always want to leave with some momentum. But Peach State fans, Predators fans, and arena football fans in general, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we got a packed slate of games tonight across all sorts of different leagues. A lot of different games on right now. Happy you guys decided to stay with us. And going to run a quarterback sneak here, actually with the wide receiver, Jaquan Johnson, in, and he gains positive yardage, so that will be the end. Peach State scores on every single drive of the game except their last one, which ends in what's basically a quarterback kneel. 87 points on the board for the Cats, 38 scored by the Preds, a lot of them coming in the fourth. Building blocks for the Preds, a lot of stuff to work on. Peach State, a domineering win as they head into next week. And, well, we'd like to apologize for the technical difficulties. It happened the last time we called a game down here, and it happened this time as well. Not sure if it's our equipment or just bad luck or what. We'll try and get all the gremlins sorted out by next time.